Hello, Facebook, and welcome to Connections and Conversations. Human connection is the most powerful immune boosting, health promoting tool that you have. And connection is what we're all missing right now. So I am so delighted that you're joining us today or watching us on replay. And if you're watching us on replay, please put hashtag replay. Today, I get to connect and chat with these lovely ladies today. Florence Bray. Hi, Florence.
Thank you. Hi, Sinead. Thank you.
And Andrea Dalton. Hey, Andre.
Hello, Sinead. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you. So a lot of the focus in my work currently is on facilitating people who support other people. And I work with them in small groups and I'm one-to-one to grow their mental fitness. And your mental fitness is your capacity to handle the challenges of life with a positive mindset rather than getting frustrated or annoyed or upset as your default mechanism. Because to be positive 100% of the time would be amazing, but not very realistic. And the science shows us that 75% of the time, staying in a positive mindset is very, very achievable. So I get to connect with my clients through conversation with a purpose. And I provide them with a strategy that they can then go on and use in their everyday lives. And these are people I'm talking about. So when I'm saying they, it sounds very impersonal. And I absolutely love my work. I met Andre and Florence as a result of my work through a business group that we were all in, run by Amanda Delaney. And so let me just move over now to the ladies. Enough about me. Ladies all over the country, people have been challenged as a result of the pandemic. And you guys work alongside groups of women mostly, and I know you do work with some men as well. And you work together, but you also work individually. And today we're going to be talking about you guys, the work you do together. So I'm really looking forward to hearing you explain to the people watching how you connect with the people through your work. So Andre and Florence, please tell everyone who are watching, please tell everyone who's watching as I trip over my words, who are the people that you're currently working with?
Great. Thanks, Sinead. Well, as you said, we both teamed up together. We're both hypnotherapists and other modalities also. But we got together because we saw that people were struggling. Essentially, we work with women. We also have, we work with men. Most of our work with men is on one-to-one. We haven't developed our group yet for men, but that is in the making. But the women we work with are women who essentially are struggling with weight, with trying to manage their weight and keep themselves in a healthy weight and mindset also, because they're struggling because of not only the pandemic, but also they have so many things. As women, we understand so many things are falling on their shoulders to deal with in their lives.
We found that as women ourselves, we can understand all that because we're nurturers and we usually put ourselves at the end of the queue, or we're not on the queue at all. And that's what we discovered, that niche, that we're going to help bring these women to realize that they have value and self-worth in themselves, that they actually do matter and they should be at the top of the queue. And it's okay to put yourself there, to prioritize yourself first.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when people come to work with you guys, then what kind of stuff shows up in the groups? Or, are people quite open in the groups, or does that tend to be on a one-to-one? Is there much sharing that goes on in the group about, I guess, what's behind the reason that they want to lose weight, and what's behind the reasons, I guess, why they have gained weight in the first place?
Yeah, well, there's usually a story behind the weight gain. So, surprise, me with groups, I hadn't really worked with so many groups up to when Andrea and I teamed up together, and we wondered, would it work? Surprise, it did work. It does work. People are so supportive. Women in the group feel safe because it's a safe place for them to share the issues. And there's usually a backstory why the weight is there. It can be bad habits. It can be emotional issues. It can be a combination. And hypnosis, what we do in the program that we've developed, is essentially it's retraining your mind. It's like a personal trainer for your mind to think in a different way. Number one, about yourself, to start to believe in yourself. And then number two, it breaks habits as well. So habits can be formed as a result of, bad eating patterns, or rushing, or not having time, or just grabbing the first thing that comes to hand, or maybe with a family situation. So all of these habits can be broken in the program. So yes, they do like open up and, give us the information, and, even sometimes airing it in a safe place can be enough for the women to help them make the change with the backup of the hypnosis, self-hypnosis audios.
Yeah, and that's actually supported by the science. So when you work in a group, there's a 500% higher chance that you'll succeed at what you decide you want to do, rather than working on your own. Basically, I suppose it's kind of like, if you decide you're going to go running every day, if you do it with one of your friends or your neighbors, like a buddy, you're much more likely to do it. So absolutely agree with you that groups work really, really well.
Yeah.
Can I ask either yourself or Andre, hypnosis? So for some people, hypnosis, they're thinking, people on a stage, acting really funny, all those kinds of things. How does hypnosis help here? Or how does that work?
Well, first of all, Florence and I choose not to do stage hypnosis. We're both qualified in it. We've both experienced it. But we choose to help people break free of the pain, the agony, the torment that their mind has kept them prisoner in. Like they're literally a prisoner trapped in their own mind. So hypnosis, what essentially it does is it relaxes you into a very deep state of relaxation. You're in a trance, and the best way I can describe it personally is there's no lists going on in the back of your head. There's no to do. Oh, I've got to cook dinner at such a time. I've got to go get the shopping. I've got to collect the kids. I've got to blah, blah, blah. Your conscious mind, which is where yourself, myself and Florence are talking. It's we're making decisions about each other, and it's really rational. We send that on a little holiday. It takes a break. And your body, because a lot of us can be in such a high state of alert during the day, our body actually needs that downtime. So you just relax back and everything relaxes all the way down. And then we have a chat with your subconscious mind, which is the feeling mind. And it's so much more powerful than the conscious mind. And it houses your habits, beliefs, feelings, and emotions about things. And it wants to protect you. So if you've had something happen to you as a child, your mind kind of locks onto that. So if somebody says, oh, you're not good enough, you can literally take that literally, because your subconscious mind takes everything literally, and it can just latch onto it, and that can live with you throughout your whole adulthood. And we just go in and literally have a chat and give lovely positive suggestions saying you're good enough as everybody else in this world. Everybody's ever existed and is going to exist, because you're unique and special. And that's how hypnosis works. It's the magic of it.
And the interesting thing, Sinead, is we're in hypnosis every day of the week without a formal induction into hypnosis. If we're reading a good book and we're totally engrossed in it, or we're driving from A to B and we know the route so well, and we pull up there in the car and we say, how did I even get here? Your conscious mind is quieting down, your subconscious mind takes over, and it has all all is necessary to get you there safely, or to keep you. If you're reading a good book and you hear somebody in the background going around and you just couldn't be bothered to respond, you're so interested, your conscious mind, you're just in a state of trance there. So that's the best way to describe it too, isn't it? Just to realize that people are scared of the sound hypnosis. Oh my God, we're going to be controlled, but not at all. No.
And every time you watch TV, you're in a state of hypnosis, or a movie, you're in a state of hypnosis. So we're well used to it every single day without realizing it.
Yeah.
Well, I actually went to one of your group sessions that you were running. I can't remember what the subject was. It was
48 a house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And oh my God, it was so relaxing. It was just really, really lovely. And, in the evenings, you might think, oh, I don't want to do another Zoom because we're all doing so many Zooms. Yeah. And I just know I've, whatever, committed, and I'm doing it. And plus I know you guys and you're amazing. So I just felt so relaxed. I was so glad I did it. So,
yeah, it's nice to experience. Yeah,
it really, really is. So when people go to you then in the groups, or on a one-to-one basis, and you're working with them, what do you give them things to do at home, or do you give them something, or what way does that work?
Well, usually when they come in one-to-one, or we're dealing on a one-to-one across Zoom, we do a very good consultation first of all, find out the background, and just say we're dealing with somebody for anxiety. We're finding out, we're like a little detective, finding out where it started. There's something behind where it started. So we will help the person to uncover. If they can't consciously uncover it, we can uncover it in the session and deal with it, reframe stuff in their mind. That's basically what hypnosis does. It just gives a more helpful way of looking at a situation. It doesn't change anything that's happened. Say with a trauma client, if they've had a trauma of some sort, it doesn't change that trauma hasn't happened, but it changes their reaction and their response to it.
Could you, sorry.
And then we just follow up with, when we, remove the negative out of that, we fill it then with the positive way of looking at it, a more helpful way for the client.
Did I see though that you guys have a recording or that people use when they're at home, or am I right?
You did. So when they come to us one-on-one for the different areas that we work in, anxiety, trauma, fears, panic attacks, phobias, and indeed weight release or weight management, we give them an audio, and they listen to that for at least 21 days. Now, I actually say 60 days now, and 90 days locks in that new habit. It's an audio they listen to in their sleep, and it can help put a spring in their step the next day. And with the weight release audio, we actually have a complimentary taster audio. So they get used to what we're talking about, how hypnosis works. If you haven't been hypnotized before, it's a great one. You just stick it on, you put your headphones on, sit down in a chair, or even listen to it in your sleep. And all of the positive suggestions about, changing habits over drink, food, alcohol, better food choices, and exercise. It goes in, and then slowly or quickly, they find themselves making positive changes. And that's our free complimentary taster audio for our weight release program.
Okay, so I'm slightly going to shift the way we're speaking now. So we all work or the three of us work in the business of health, really. And I want people to realize it's so much more than diet and exercise. And I know that that's how you approach your work. But as women yourselves, what does health mean to both of you?
Well, health to ourselves means that we can have our mind working in a balanced way. The two minds, we have a conscious mind, subconscious mind. So having that working in a balanced way will give us all the benefits in our physical body. When I look back when I was a younger person, things that would have affected me, I never really understood that there was a mind, thinking going on. So if we can have a healthy mind, it is, it's much more beneficial to us having a healthy body. We all want to feel healthy on the outside. We don't realize sometimes we need the light shone on it, that we need to realize that if we can have a healthy mind, the body can then follow on. So it's just as important, like the mind coach for your, or the coach for your body, to coach your mind to think in a healthy way and be. And it is work. It isn't, we don't, like, we have to go out and train. We don't go out and run a marathon in 1 minute or, one day. We have to train up to it, training our mind. But hypnosis is the quickest way to do that, we feel.
And definitely for me as well, as well, we do know that your health is your wealth. And that includes your mental health, because people can see something physically wrong with you, but people don't always, because we wear a mask, aside from the mask that we have to wear outside now, the covering on the face, people don't actually see or realize the pain somebody can be going through. And in particular now, during the pandemic, there's no touch anymore. Touch is one of the first sensations we have is when we're born. Somebody has to hold us when we're literally coming out of the birth canal, or take us out of the womb. So touch is really gone, and that's so important for connection. And then you have communication. For older people in particular, it's more difficult because they've had to get used to technology where it wasn't needed before. So it's that connection of communication and touch that people are craving. And as physical beings and emotional beings, we really do need that. So our most important property is actually between our ears. That's the most important property you'll ever own in your life. And it's so important to take care of it. Yeah. And when this is working in tandem with a physical body that's working well, even if you're missing a limb or an arm, to have your mental health and thinking in a positive way and being grateful for all around boosts everything so much, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think when you're talking about technology there, thinking about my mom wanted to go on Twitter and to instruct her how to do that. And it's less easy than you would think. But and that it's funny as well in Ireland, because years ago, people weren't as tactile. It really didn't exist, which sounds strange now because we're all going around hugging each other, you know, obviously pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, it'll all come back eventually. But yeah, I really miss that. I'm so lucky that I have dogs, so I get to have hugs and things like that on a regular basis. So what I'd like to do something different that I do for everybody that I interview, and I'd like to grant each of you a wish. And what would that wish be? So I'll go back to Florence. So Florence, what would be your wish? You just get the one.
I only get one. I have a list. If I got one, I would wish that there was no stress in the world, that people didn't have to suffer, and that children could be taught right from the very early stages that they didn't need to compare themselves to other people or be lesser or feel. So taking away stress would take away so much. That would be my magic wand if I could tip the world with that. There's no stress, because I think it causes so much, you know, so much upset and so much disharmony and so much illness as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what about yourself, Andre?
Oh gosh, this is the hard one now because I have a few.
I've had people try already to wish for 100 more wishes. You're not getting that.
No, I suppose really it's to be happy where you are right now. It's to realize that you are unique and special. There's only one of you on this planet right now, and that you have gifts to offer the world. And when you accept where you are right now, you open the door for just a lot of wonder and possibility to come your way. And that light is going to shine from you out to the world, and you're going to be so much happier. And throwing in another one, knowing that change is possible.
That's allowed. Just this time.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you tell everybody out there who's watching about any events that you're going to be running, or where they can find you on social media, where's your website, all that kind of stuff, please?
Well, we have an event coming up on, well, we have self-hypnosis, you know, ways of working with us is one-to-one. We have the audio program, but we've a great 6-week hypnosis program for weight loss online, live online in a group setting. It's our first time to actually run it for the 6 weeks, because we have the 6-week audio program that's working fantastic. And other people have asked us, can we work one-to-one in a group as well? So we have that coming up on Thursday week, the 22nd of April. And so this has been run now, you know, this is our first time to run it. So if people want to get in touch with us to be included in that, we're going to run it at a really affordable price, rather than, you know, people that can't afford to maybe work one-to-one, or that they want to try it out, because people say all the time, I'd love to try hypnosis, I wonder what it's like. So it's an absolute fabulous opportunity. So it's bringing 6 weeks, is bringing you right into summertime, you know, up to summertime. So that's one way.
How do they sign up for that, Florence?
They sign up through us, by getting in touch with us on You Deserve It on the Facebook page. Our website is in the making at the moment, but going on to our Facebook and just contacting us through there, or we have an email address, Sinead, which is reachudeserveit@gmail.com. And even if they want to just find out, if any of the people want to find out, we're running it essentially for women. on this round, but it will be open for men. So we feel that the men only group will be better for men, and the women only for women, because we feel that they're more, with our research, we found that they're more comfortable with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And anything to add, Andre?
Anything to add? Well, actually we do. We have developed a fabulous, I have to say, sleep program. So it's hypnosis, and there's also a fact sheet or an audit, if you like, about your physical environment to help you get a better night's sleep. So we've launched that, and we've done a soft launch on it, and it's very successful. Again, you can contact us at reachudeserveit@gmail.com. We also, with that, have a complimentary fact sheet that'll get you going on the environment, just to see, if it's conducive for a good night's sleep. And then if you wish, then you can contact us about getting the full program itself. And then we have the free audio then for the weight release program. So that's where we're at. And our website will be launched Friday week. We're a little behind the times, but it's been turned around really quickly. And that's called youdeservechange.com, because you do deserve change.
Love it. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Florence. Thank you so much, Andrea. I really enjoyed this. You do incredible work. So check them out, guys. I will obviously mention them in the post, and you'll be able to find them that way. Just click on the link. And thanks for coming and doing this interview today. I really appreciate it.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Sinead. Thank you.
Okay, stop.